So this video is for artificial lash application. We're going to start the video as we arrive to work. So we are just getting to work and we have to wash our hands. The first thing we're going to do is wet our hands, apply a coin-sized amount of liquid hand soap, wash our hands down to our wrist, wash the back of our hands down to our wrist. We're going to wash our fingers and of course the backs of our fingers. Excuse me. We are going to wash between our fingers and our thumbs. We are going to wash our fingertips and nails. We're going to wash our thumbs. We are going to wash our wrists. We're going to do all of that wash for a good 20 to 30 seconds minimum, and then we're going to thoroughly and properly rinse our hands at the sink under the water. When you feel like they're properly rinsed, you're going to grab either a clean towel or a disposable paper towel and turn the faucet off. Dry your hands completely, toss your paper towels in the trash. If it's a towel, then it goes into the to be laundered closed container, and then find that 70% ethyl alcohol hand sanitizer and sanitize your hands. And then we'll talk about what we need to do to get ready for our client that is coming, which she's coming in for that artificial lash application. So we have to get the room ready. So you're going to disinfect your workstation, your bed, and your equipment using a disinfectant wipe, following, of course, manufacturer's instructions. You will dispense products needed for the service. Prepare disposable portion cups for each product with a portion of the product by opening the top of the container and ensuring the tip of the nozzle does not come into contact with the disposable portion cup tray, or you can remove the product with a disinfected or clean single-use spatula. Close the lid to the product and set the portion cup tray on the tray. Place disposable table paper on a disinfected bed. And so I'm going to have my area ready here, and I'm going to show you what my tray looks like. So I've got my tray set up, and we have, of course, disposable gloves because you will be wearing gloves for this entire service. I have my oil-free makeup remover. I have my strip lashes. I have my disposable mascara wands, scissors for trimming, tweezers for application, my little cotton rounds for makeup remover. I've got, of course, some extra gauze. Then I have my little disposable applicators for the lash glue, so when I'm ready to put my glue on, I have that. So I pretty much have everything I need right here on my tray. I'm gotten set up, so I have to go and meet and greet my client and do my client consultation. So what I'm going to do is, of course, always with fresh, clean hands, I am going to go out and greet my client and escort them to the work area, and I will assess their style. I will determine their preferences and assess the client's needs. I will assess the client's skin by performing a visual skin analysis to ensure that there is no inflamed, infected, broken, raised, or swollen skin in the area to be worked on, or an open wound or sore in the area to be worked on, an infection or infestation such as lice to prevent from safely performing the service. I'll assess the client's consultation form for any medications and products used within the last 72 hours, and I'll consult on any known allergies. I will consult with the client on any facial surgeries within the last 3 months, and if the client is under a physician's care. I'll assess if the client is prone to cold sores or fever blisters. I'll assess if the client has used exfoliating or lightening agents within the last 72 hours, like alpha hydroxy acids, beta hydroxy acids, hydroquinone, etc. I will assess facial injections within the last 3 weeks, like Botox or hyaluronic fillers. If the client is free from the above, we can move forward with the procedure, which she is. So let's get her comfortable, and then of course we are going to wash our hands again. So we're going to get, our client does not need to disrobe. We are just simply putting on a headband to keep her hair away from the eye area where we're going to put the lashes on. We get her comfortable in the bed and we cover her up so there no glue or anything will get on her, or you can just put a little drape on her. So we need to now wash our hands before we get started with this lash application. So going to the sink, we wet our hands and we get that coin size amount of liquid hand soap, rubbing our hands together down to the wrist. We're going to wash the back of our hands down to the wrists. We're going to wash our fingers, and we're going to wash the backs of our fingers, fingertips and nails. We're going to wash between our fingers. We're going to wash between our fingers and our thumbs. We're going to wash our thumbs. We're going to wash our wrists. All of that, once again, minimum 20 to 30 seconds. Thoroughly rinse under the sink. Once you feel like you have that proper rinse, get those disposable paper towels, turn off the faucet, dry those hands completely, throw your paper towels away, and get your hand sanitizer and 70% ethyl alcohol. Sanitize those hands. Once you have those hands good and dry, you have to apply your gloves. So make sure that you get your hands dry because it's hard to put on disposable gloves with wet hands. So our hands are on, we're ready to start our service. So the first thing we're going to do is clean off any eye makeup she might have on. So I'm getting my cotton rounds to do that with that oil-free makeup remover. And we're just going to take it down and around. And then I'm going to really dry that area because we are going to be using lash glue. I don't want the lashes to come off. So I know that we've dried it, so it's important that, cleaned it, so it's important that's nice and dry. Everything looks really good. So we are going to then just take a nice mascara wand and comb through the lashes. Then we're going to go over to our strips. And there's always going to be a shorter side and a longer side. The shorter side, so there is an actual right and left when it comes to your strip lashes. The shorter side is going to go in to the nose, the longer side farthest away from the nose. So once you determine which side is which, you can take your strip lash and you're going to measure it. So you're going to get it as close to the lash line as possible. And you're going to see how it measures up to the length of your client's eye. And believe it or not, this one's pretty close. So for the video's sake, I'm going to pretend like it's not. And I'm going to say that we need to trim a little bit. So I lined it up and I think that it's this much too long. So what I would do would be get my scissors and trim the long end, not the short end, above my fingers, however much too long I think it is, before I apply it. So you don't want to cut underneath and you don't want to cut the short side. You always want to cut the extra length side. So what we're going to do now is then flip it over to apply lash glue to the back of it. So we've got our lash glue and we are going to take a little bit of lash glue and apply it all the way corner to corner on the lashes that we've just trimmed on the back side. A nice, smooth, even layer. And then we will be ready to apply the strip lash by holding the lash the center pretty much with the tweezer, and then we're going to go in and line it up as close as we can to the lash line, and then we're going to press the inner corner first and work our way out. So just take your time. And you may want to be here for, 5 to 10 seconds, pressing where you think you need to press to make sure that everything is the way you want it to be before you switch to the other eye. So we are now going to do the same exact process on the other eye. We've identified the short side and the long side. We knew it was the right one for this eye. And we're going to measure. So you're just going to use your hands to measure. Bring it on in. You don't have to hold it with a tweezer or anything because you're measuring the length. And like I said, it's pretty close to her length here. But for the video, I'm going to pretend like it's a little bit too long. So once again, I've got the excess on the long side. I would grab my scissors and trim above my fingers, not below, to the short side. And then once I've got that extra piece off, flip it over so that you can apply the glue to the back side. So getting my disposable applicator, my lash glue, I'm gonna add a little bit of lash glue to this applicator, and then I'm gonna take my time to go corner to corner and evenly apply that lash glue to the end of the strip lash, smoothing it out so there's no bubbles and there's no bigger sections, thicker blobs of glue, smaller sections. Then I'm going to grab the front end with my tweezers, usually, like I said, about halfway through the strip lash. It's just easier to place. And then when we get it down and get it close, I'm actually going to press that inner corner first along the lash, and it'll give me enough time if I need to adjust and move as I'm pressing the rest to the outer corner on my way out. And if you need to press and hold for a few seconds here, 5 to 10 seconds, letting it dry. She looks amazing. So we're going to present to the client how gorgeous she looks. Oh my word, she's in love with them. And then you will be able to, allow her to get up. You can take the drape off, and then you have to kind of review with that client your maintenance and aftercare. These are single-use lashes pretty much, so you're just going to tell her how to take them off when she washes her face. And then if she does want to reapply them at home, you could review that with her, kind of go over that. But pretty much she really just wanted to have them put on for a big party that she's going to this evening. So we think that's great. So we want to get her checked out. If she wants to book anything else, you'll go ahead and help her with that. And then we'll talk about how you finish up. You go back into your room, and if there's any single-use items that you haven't thrown away already, like some of those applicators, etc., you can toss it in the trash. You would find any implements that you're using, and you're going to put them in a closed container labeled to be disinfected. You'll place the cape that you use, any towels, anything else, in that closed container for laundry until it's time to do laundry. And then we need to clean up your room because you've got another appointment coming right now. So you want to identify proper cleaning agent, read manufacturer's directions, follow manufacturer's directions for mixing and usage, wipe your workstation and area with the cleaning solution to remove debris. Identify disinfectant that is bactericidal, virucidal, fungicidal, EPA approved for use in a salon setting. And that means you're going to put gloves on. Follow manufacturer's directions for mixing and or using appropriate aerosol disinfectant. Disinfect electrical equipment stored in a clean area separate from other implements, and then you would remove your gloves. So Wash hands for a final time. Go to the sink, wet your hands, coin signs to liquid hand soap. Wash your hands together down to your wrist. Wash the back of your hands down to your wrist. Wash your fingers. Wash the backs of your fingers. Wash between your fingers. Wash between your fingers and your thumb. Wash your fingertips and nails. Wash your thumbs. Wash your wrists. All of that for a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds. Thoroughly rinse your hands in that water. When you feel like you've had that proper rinse, grab those disposable paper towels, turn the sink off, dry everything thoroughly. Paper towels go in the trash. Get your hand sanitizer, 70% ethyl alcohol, and then sanitize those hands. And that concludes your video for false lash application.